Guys?
Yeah.
Audio's good?
How you do? Live from SEMA in the back of the MXT.
We
Get
can
back
tell,
here, baby, and call me daddy.
we can tell, obviously, who's got the most energy here.
I gotta sleep in.
Was that your Dwayne Johnson impersonation?
Not even. A Dwayne Johnson impression.
You did get to sleep in.
I did.
I'm pretty jealous of that.
Yeah. It's pretty nice, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Had a non-rushed breakfast.
We did too, actually.
Yeah?
Yeah.
we had tried to start off healthy, and then halfway through our order, we f***ed up and we're like, all right, I'll have a waffle too with my breakfast, and then just ruined it. You know, it started off a good healthy protein breakfast, and then we were like, you know, a waffle does sound good. Then we both got waffles.
It wasn't too bad.
It was good.
Yeah.
Damn.
I mean, you did a lot of walking today, so.
Yeah, that's true. We're here at SEMA, and
Day two.
And I don't know if you guys can tell, but we're actually doing a podcast from inside of the MXT, and
Yeah! Pizza!
what? I don't know why Mike keeps on talking about.
It's because he got to sleep in, and we're going to Secret Pizza tonight.
Yeah.
Oh,
We got secret pizza and Momofuku milk bar.
Mama, wait, mother F. Never mind.
Momofuku
Momo
milk bar.
Fuku.
Pizza!
Oh my god. So
Yo, it took us 50 minutes to get here today.
Did it really?
Yeah.
Wow. Well, that's Uber, right?
Yeah. So our Airbnb is like 15 minutes away from the convention center. It took us 50.
'Cause it was-
50.
Because it was just traffic?
Yeah.
Did he take the same kind of routes that we took usually? to
He
get back
kept
here?
trying to avoid any traffic that he saw, only to end up in more traffic.
We got here pretty quick.
Well,
We
you
got-
got here in the afternoon.
That's true.
Because you got to sleep in.
dude, the MXT has two separate miles per hour sections. It has it goes up to 40 miles per hour, and then it has one from, up to 85. That's weird. I just wanted to point that out.
Okay.
I'm sitting in the same seat that The Rock was sitting in, by the way, everybody. So, be jealous.
For pizza!
God.
I think I know what Mike wants for dinner.
We're hungry. We're out.
All right. See you next episode.
Our wonderful, wonderful host.
We'll catch you guys next week. Later.
All right.
Is that the mic that picks up everything?
No, well, I mean, it's not that mic, but it does pick up. It's supposed to pick up a lot of things.
So it's gonna pick you up like as you're walking around, your footsteps, and
That's why I'm gonna sit down and
Whatnot.
try not to move.
well, you have to move because you have to work on the camera once it stops.
Yeah.
Okay. So
Yeah, so things didn't exactly go as planned.
Why not?
Well, I mean, we wanted to film in the tailbit of the MXT, but somebody at a booth wanted to be a DJ all night, and it would have messed with our sound quality, but that's cool.
it would have been cool if we hung out there and had a few drinks and hung out with that crowd.
Yeah, but you have a dinner to go to.
I do, but I mean, this is more important.
Where are you going anyway?
I have no idea. They haven't told me yet.
Oh.
They haven't told you yet.
Yeah, actually, they were waiting on me to make the decision where to go, and I'm not gonna make that decision.
Dude, why
didn't you just say
Secret Pizza? We all could have won.
I don't know if that's an actual name.
I don't know.
It is.
Is it?
It is. It is Secret Pizza.
Yeah.
Really?
On Yelp, it's called.
Well, okay, because that's the name I came up with. Because
Dude, it's
I
okay.
thought-
So you say secret pizza, and I get it, dude. We get it. You go sit with your guys, and we'll be sitting right next to you.
we should. But I was actually down for that though, because have you had that Momofuku milk bar yet?
Oh, so they were telling me about this morning, and we were like, Jordan would love it.
Why would I love it?
Yeah.
Well, first tell us
Why
what you
would I
had.
love it?
What did you have from breakfast this morning?
I had about 8 bowls of cinnamon toast.
That's why you would love it.
They have an ice cream that tastes like the milk at the bottom of the bowl
Yeah?
of your cereal.
I don't know
And
how.
they sprinkle the cereal on top of it after. It's bomb.
Now is it almond milk?
Oh, that's right.
Damn it, Jordan!
Ruin everything.
For this week only. Damn it, Jordan.
Can't take me anywhere.
Wait, they can't substitute?
I don't think they have substitutes.
Let me check.
Man.
That voice you're hearing is Olivia.
Yes.
She doesn't want to be on the podcast.
She's our new, she's our technology person.
No, she's our chauffeur,
That too.
our taxi, our Uber chauffeur.
That too.
I don't know how down I am to go back to like the strip area though.
That's a good point.
Given that it just took us half an hour to get back to our Airbnb, which is like
Should be 15 minutes.
Yeah.
So I
I'll
mean,
order us pizza.
again.
I could eat that every day. And we got a beer.
we do have beer.
Yeah.
Well, what we can do is kind of look up in the area what else is around.
Yeah.
Mm.
There's other stuff we can have.
Yeah, but I was looking forward to pizza.
I saw.
But so this is your first time back in Vegas since you were 9 years
since
old.
I was probably like 9.
So far, anything you want to say about Vegas and your experience?
You know, it's kind of weird. So it kind of feels like I'm not away from California, but at the same time, I feel like I am away from California at the same time.
I think most of it has to do with the Airbnb.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're away from the strip. We're away from the Vegas nightlife.
Yeah,
right?
you can't just walk downstairs and be in a casino, so you don't get that experience. But
And that's good for me. You know, I don't like that nightlife stuff. I'm very introverted. I would just be in a corner all day if y'all were dragging me to nightclubs and casinos and stuff. I'd just be, yeah, I don't want to do this. But yeah, it's cool so far. You know, haven't seen anything crazy on the strip yet.
because we haven't been to the strip yet.
We've been on the strip actually we haven't. Yeah. We drove on it.
Yeah, well, we're doing our best to avoid it, right? Because that traffic.
I think it's just I mean, right now we're doing our best to avoid it, but I think just because what we planned, we just didn't have to go over there.
Yeah. Well, I appreciate that planning.
It's kind of nice. It's kind of fun actually.
Yeah.
I mean, like this is something new for us as far as staying in an Airbnb and then not, being in a hotel. It forces us to get along.
Oh,
Not that we don't get along.
I was under the impression that we got along great.
No, yeah, we do. I'm just saying we're not the only
Entities.
group. Let's say.
No.
I think that'll be coming into this Airbnb. I like to think that we're one of the closer tight knit groups.
Yeah.
That's kind of what I mean.
Yeah.
So I mean, for us, I didn't think it would be an issue.
We'll see what happens tomorrow. It changed. Like the group changes. That's in.
Well, we have 2 more people coming in tomorrow.
But you guys leave tomorrow.
No, we're still staying.
Oh, so you are staying? Okay, that's
Yeah.
right. Okay.
So,
Yeah. Tomorrow. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. We'll see how that goes.
Yeah, I think I have it kind of figured out. But
Cool.
we'll see.
The party pad.
By Jada Toys.
So first day of SEMA.
First official day of SEMA.
First
yes.
official day of SEMA.
Yeah.
How did it go?
How do you know he doesn't have anything prepared?
No, I don't have anything prepared for today. I
This
don't have
is
any specific questions.
Raw, uncut,
Winging it.
one take through.
Yeah, to be honest, I was kind of banking on the hope that we would just have the ice charger and the MXT in the background, and then we could just kick the shit and call it a day.
Yeah, it is kind of a bummer that we're not able to film it there, but I mean, It is what it is.
Yeah, maybe we could come up with something tomorrow. I don't know.
Maybe
Just
maybe
a
we
little-
try it again tomorrow.
Just a little quick.
I do know that I think the reason why they had the whole DJ thing tonight was because the execs were there at that booth and they were trying to impress and get a crowd going. And so hopefully it's changes tomorrow night. So maybe we try to do it again tomorrow.
Yeah.
Maybe, yeah.
Yeah, something I noticed that was pretty interesting at our booth was people were taking a lot of pictures. I'm talking like there were like clusters. It was almost like it was kind of like seeing a firing squad. Like the soldiers, they line up, but they were taking pictures of our booth and hashtagging. Well, I'm assuming that they're hashtagging, SEMA.
I kind of think of it more like the red carpet.
The red card. Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Rather than a firing line, but
Well, do you know how a psychiatrist holds up a picture to you and they're like, "What is this picture interpretation?" Well, that's what goes on in my brain. Oh, paranormal activity in the party pad.
Well, I was talking to Mike a little bit earlier today, like when we were at the booth, and this is not the first, second, or third time that we've brought out the ice charger. This is, I don't even know, the fifth time maybe. I mean, so we've been around this car in particular for a while. We've brought it out to multiple shows, and I believe this is the second or third SEMA that the ice charger.
second SEMA with the ice charger. Fourth, I think, event that we've done with the ice charger.
So the ice charger is nothing new to
us.
And I mean we brought it out to SEMA before, but I was mentioning to him earlier today where like it never really ceases to amaze me. I think even when you see it there, the amount of attention that it draws.
When we were planning this, we were like, okay, the availability is we can get the ice charger, and our first thought was again.
Yeah.
Should we get it again? Because to us it's old. It feels like it's not something exciting anymore.
Yeah.
But as soon as that the trailer rolled up with the car, and you look at it, and you're like, man, that thing is impressive. It's cool. It has presence. It demands like respect because of how wide and how big the thing looks.
Yeah.
And it's just it draws a lot of attention.
I mean, I haven't seen even 10% of the other cars at SEMA, but something tells me that even with everything else considered, that ice charger still stands out. It still breaks necks. Even if it wasn't a Fast and Furious car, I still think it would break necks.
It hangs for sure. I mean, like off multiple aspects of it. I mean, first of all, it's a combination of a 69 and 71 charger. Right, I believe the rear is a 69 and the front is a 71. I believe that's what we're told, right? Yeah. It's got a custom one-off wide body. It's got a helicopter jet engine in the back,
which is part of the movie. So if you've seen the movie, you know that jet engine doesn't propel the car. It does in a sort of in a way, but it doesn't. It's not the main engine of the car. It's just part of the car to make it do something that happens in the movie.
Right. So even if even if you didn't recognize that it's from a Fast and Furious movie, like to Mike's point, it does command so much respect because it's just so out of the norm. And I couple that with like it doesn't have its original motor. It's got an
LS swap, right?
Well, I wasn't even.
Oh, was I not supposed to say that?
Not that you were supposed to say that. I was just trying to keep that on the down low because it's a little bit more sacrilege. But
damn it, all the Mopar guys. But Mopar, no car. Sorry.
And it's converted to an all-wheel drive system. So it's.
Oh, I didn't even know that.
It's super functional for all the action sequences.
Yeah. What I've been telling people is that the way Dennis builds his cars is to be used so it can be used the way it was intended in the movie. So if it calls for driving this car on ice, he built it so it can drive on ice. So he made it 4-wheel drive. They actually have tires that are that have the spikes on them so they can get more traction. But of course we can't do that and roll it around inside of the convention center. But I mean he made it so it would work on ice. That's why there's such a huge rear tire, because it needs a lot of contact on the ice, so it has a lot of surface to
surface area.
Surface area. Yeah, that's the word I'm looking for. But yeah,
Yeah, I mean, we saw that. Yeah, we saw that car on the lift at the garage like a few weeks back, and it was all. And you were there. Like it was all rusted. I mean, just from the ice, right?
Yeah.
So like even if it wasn't like you said a movie vehicle, just not only in the way that it looks, but everything that's been done to it performance wise, the interior is completely stripped. You know, I mean,
one seat in there.
yeah. So like, it definitely hangs
Yeah.
when you're talking about the broad spectrum of SEMA cars that are available on display, for sure.
And as far as its actual performance, you know, and so it's built to do everything that it did in the movie, and then even more, which it didn't. Exactly. Isn't it funny of how Hollywood has we've been in an age so long as for people have seen these movies and they have been like so over the top fake, and people know they're like, okay, well that car, it can never do that, and so people expect for a Fast and Furious car to not be able to do that, but it actually can do that.
yeah. Just like in Fast and Furious 7, you know, the all the off-road Chargers and Challengers and all those cars, they were built to go off-roading. I mean, those are actual vehicles driving in those dirt roads.
Yeah.
And they perform so well. Dennis was even thinking about taking it and driving it in a Baja race.
Yeah.
And that would be really cool. I mean, I think that would be awesome.
I wonder what stopped him from that idea.
Probably time, because he's a busy man. Right. But those things are built to perform as they were supposed to.
Yeah. I mean, like I said, I think just from the sheer looks of it, based on the fact that it's a classic muscle car, and for it to look the way that it looks, it's just out of the norm of what you would expect a classic muscle car to look like. And that's just the ice charger.
Yeah.
You know, we have a big MXT in our booth, which was bigger than what we thought it was going to be.
Well, I mean, it's kind of like an actor doing his own stunts. You respect that actor a lot more. Why can't you respect the vehicle a lot more, because the vehicle's actually doing its own stunts rather than being all CG'd?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. Because you know what, and I kind of feel like with the ice charger, it's kind of how can I say it? It's kind of spoiled me in my standards of a muscle car. Well, like at least as far as its looks go. You know, every time I see another muscle car, I think it's dope, but I've never seen anything as dope as what the ice charger looks like. And you know, it's
extreme.
It's
taking the customization to the extreme, for sure.
Yeah, it's not everybody's cup of tea.
Yeah,
that's for sure.
Oh yeah, for sure.
But as far as like sheer aggression and styling, I personally dig it.
Yeah.
I would definitely want that for the apocalypse.
You never saw the off-road Charger in person from Fury 7.
No, I didn't.
But the fenders on the off-road Charger was really cool too.
Yeah.
Like, you know how the ice Chargers, they're more fender flares, right? The off-road Charger just kind of seemed like sheet metal and just had like these crazy cuts to them. It was really insane looking. Yeah.
And it's crazy because everything on these cars are functional as well, you know.
Yeah.
And they're there for a reason.
Yeah.
It's crazy. Yeah. He does a good job. He's awesome at what
he knows what he does. Yeah.
Yeah. And he's a cool guy.
Yeah, he's a very cool guy.
Yeah.
And you guys mentioned the MXT and how big this sucker is. I mean,
sorry to all our neighbors around our booth.
MXT blocking your line of sight, because this thing. Well, you know, we built this big backdrop, right, to be kind of like a backdrop for photo opportunities, but the MXT covers this whole damn backdrop, and you can't even see it. It's
bigger than the submarine.
Yeah, it's you can't even see the submarine back there. It's crazy.
Yeah, like I plan to put in some of the B-roll footage of the MXT, but even on camera, it's still really hard to get a true sense of how ginormous that damn thing really is.
With all those movie cars, you don't really get a sense of what it is until you see it in person.
Yeah.
And that's why whenever I see the ice charger, I'm still in awe, because it's so cool in person as opposed to on screen. You know, one, you're associated with what you see on screen. You see it on screen, you're like, wow, that was awesome. And then you see it in person, it's like, wow, that's even cooler. Yeah. I mean, one, you don't get a sense of scale. You don't really see, you see how big the fender flares are, but once you see it in person, and like how wide those tires are in the back, and in the front tires aren't that narrow either.
I've never seen tires like that.
Yeah, they're crazy.
Yeah.
It's impressive.
Yeah. Well,
It's also funny watching all the people trying to figure out, break it down, like who really don't know what Fast and Furious is or seen the movie, and they go back there and like looking at the engine and thinking that that's what's the engine that runs the car.
You see some funny things.
Yeah.
I mean, like, cause one, you see people walk to the back to look at that jet engine, and they're wondering what it is, or they'll get on the floor to try and see what motor is running.
I saw, dude, I counted like 15 people who actually got on their face to look underneath.
Yeah.
the car.
Yeah. Well, one of the things that they're looking at is the suspension, because it is different, I think. Also because it is now all-wheel drive. They fashioned in the rear, the brake calipers. There's two brake calipers on each rear tire.
Really?
Yeah. It's pretty gnarly. Yeah, it's pretty hardcore. Yeah, take a look inside that rim. You'll see you'll see one disc, two calipers. Yeah, and they're looking at.
In the rear.
In the rear. Yeah.
Dude, that's crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, that thing must stop like friggin'.
I mean, if you're trying to stop on ice, I don't think.
Yeah. You might need. Yeah, but you might need some extra.
Yeah, a little bit.
Yeah, and then you get people that, despite all the signage that we have, and they're always like, "Is this really from the movie?"
Yeah.
But the car's, it's got like battle scars on it. I mean, shoot, the hood doesn't even latch down all the way. It's kind of bent a little bit too, and so. Yeah, I think so. I think it's from the movie.
Yeah. Well, so another interesting part of today was if you look, I'm at our booth, and so on the front side we have the actual Fast and Furious cars, but then on the opposite side we have our product. And I actually had a guy who he came up to me and he didn't know we had product on the opposite side, and so he had just seen the Fast and Furious cars. And he thought that we as a company built those cars for the actual movie.
Yeah, we get that a lot.
And I wanted to go along with it. I was like, yeah. But I was like, nah.
Yeah.
And then I showed him the opposite side. But yeah, it's interesting. It's interesting. And it's really cool that we have an opportunity to also be able to carry that name while also being able to get our name out there too, you know. Yeah, it's quite an opportunity.
It's a good partnership. It's a big part of what we do.
Yeah.
You know? And these are just one of, I guess if you want to call it like a perk in the relationship or the partnership of being able to do these kinds of things, take part in events like this, and kind of relive childhood, you know, in a sense.
Well, speaking along that same point, you know, so we're at SEMA, which is a huge part of car culture, and then we get to work with Fast and Furious, which is another huge part of the car culture. How would you guys say that the Fast and Furious franchise has impacted the car culture ever since it first dropped in I don't even know what year that was, 2000?
Yeah.
I mean, how many kids are now fully grown car guys just because of that first film? You know what I mean?
My generation is everyone I knew that's my age were into cars because of Fast and Furious, or were into cars around that time and just fell in love with it even more once that movie came out. And that first one, first, second, third, I mean, come on. Tokyo Drift, even though a lot of people hate it,
which I don't know why,
it is a lot of people's favorite at the same time. It's weird. And it's crazy how many people that are collecting our stuff now were big fans of that show back in the day.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's amazing how much of an impact that movie had on people.
I mean, I think it's fair to say, like, the first one, like the very, very first one, captured a generation.
Oh yeah,
You know, and I mean, shoot, I don't think that I'd be involved in it nearly as much if it weren't for that movie.
Mm-hmm.
You know, as far as influence goes, I feel like it played a really, really big role. I mean, there's a reason why they just finished 8 and rumblings of 9, and there's a reason why this franchise has been able to extend itself way beyond any other franchise, really, and keep going pretty strong. And you know what? Despite like all the backlash of they're coming out with another one, people still go and watch them.
every movie has been making more and more money.
Yeah.
From the very beginning.
Yep.
You know what's funny though about the first movie? When that first movie came out, we were fixing up cars. We were in high school, doing all the import scene stuff, sport compact cars, and we hated the styling of the cars that were in the movie.
Mm-hmm.
Like the graphics on the side and all that stuff. We were just like, oh my gosh, why did they go that direction? Show glow on the bottom, like, oh, come on, that's not street racing. Street racing in Southern California was Hondas, Toyotas, Mazdas, and they were just built to street race. There was not a lot of crazy graphics. They were cleanly done. But this they came out with so much show. We weren't digging it. We went to watch the movie because we loved the whole concept of it.
Yes.
But the style of the cars, we talked a lot of crap about.
Mm-hmm.
But now we appreciate that style.
Yeah.
I mean, we go back and we're like, oh man, that's cool because it's nostalgic to us.
Yeah.
It's throwback.
It's really it's turned for a full 180 degrees because before we didn't like it at all. Now it's just like you got to have that one with that crazy graphic.
But I guess that's kind of the hard part about being a purist is that you kind of have to balance that first reaction of saying like, this is kind of gross, but you have to realize like, okay, well, even though it's gross to me, there's somebody who like isn't into cars yet, but they'll see this, and since it's so over the top, they'll now become a car person.
Yeah.
Well,
it's also kind of weird. It's like you think about it, because my generation was talking a lot of crap about that movie back with the first one. Today, there's a lot of people talking a lot of crap about the movies that are coming out now, the new ones.
Yeah.
But they're still making a lot of money. But we're still going to watch all these movies.
Right.
Because it's not really about just the style of the cars. And maybe that's part of why we want to go see it, because it's so controversial to us. We wanted to go check out what they're doing with it.
I think more than anything, I think it goes back to like what we've had as far as our conversations of Jada as a business, the evolution over the course of 20 years, and the direction that we have to go. It may not be what some people like, but I kind of liken it to the same as for the entire Fast and Furious franchise, where it kind of captured the whole underground racing scene, and that's what it was true to. And then throughout the evolution of the franchise, it became more of like an action heist, government,
technology
yeah,
based, like,
very grand.
Yeah.
So it really deviated away from what it started as. But I mean, again, at the end of the day, everybody's still going to watch.
It's a fun movie to watch.
Yeah.
I go to movies to get away from my reality, and that takes me away from my reality. That Transformers I'll watch all day too. I mean,
Right.
people talk a lot of crap about like the Transformers, but I love those movies. I love watching it. It's just cool. I think it's just a way to get away from it all.
Yeah. I don't think that everyone is wrong when it comes to
Yeah, but and it goes again back to what we were saying. That evolution is necessary to keep surviving or to keep pushing forward.
Yeah, I mean, like how many times can they make a movie of them going out to the desert for race wars? Well, really? I mean, how many movies can you really do with that?
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's only a small segment. They only
I
look at
mean,
it as-
but you get what I'm saying.
yeah, I do.
But yeah, I mean,
But I would love them to like okay, so imagine this. The what is it, the EMP
Yeah.
goes off, all all technology is all trash, and they have to go back to just straight gas powered cars, and go back to the old school and do all the stuff just like that they used to.
That would be pretty cool.
Hey, hit us up.
It turns into like Mad Max then. But like it'd be cool. I would love to see them say, oh, I know just the car that can do this, and they bring out the R34.
Yeah, man, that'd be dope.
Or the Supra. They bring the Supra back, or they do the Supra and they pay homage and do the new Supra with the old graphics.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah, like in that new Supra, it's almost on its way out finally.
Well, they have the race version at SEMA.
Yeah.
Yeah,
sure.
but I don't know. I we're still waiting to see what the production model will look like.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, the wide body will probably be gone.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, the BMW version has been released, or pictures of it have been shown.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm not sure how close it's going to be to that. So I'm curious. I'm really curious to see what it turns out to be. But that would be cool. I mean, I think that'd be awesome.
Yeah, we get to see so much cool stuff at this event.
Yeah.
And I hope it's making everyone at home jealous.
Well, you'll see the bulk of it tomorrow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Well, you said you think you saw about less than 10% of it. No, I think you're about 2%,
Yeah.
if that.
Man.
Because
Bring your walking shoes.
yeah,
I'm
bring your
serious.
walking shoes. Get ready to walk a lot. I met a guy today. He said he was telling me his job for that week is to take a picture of every car in the show. And I'm like, man, are you serious? He's like, yeah, I'll spend a whole day at one hall, and I'll probably miss a good 10%, 20%.
Poor guy. There has to
crazy.
be at least like, I don't even know how many cars are like.
I
Tens
wonder
of
what
thousands.
I probably couldn't even
I
guess.
couldn't guess. I wonder if they have an official count of how many cars are there.
Man.
That'd be cool to hear. It's
Yeah.
interesting though.
I mean, this show, I think, gets like 70,000 plus attendees, and when you figure that, it's a B2B show,
Mm-hmm. 70,000.
70,000 plus.
How many people are at like Dodger Stadium?
You're asking the wrong guy.
How about the
Staples
Center?
Center?
Oh, I'm not that knowledgeable. About
I think that's like it almost seems that could be like a daily.
Well, I know that, like, say for
Okay.
example, at the Dallas Cowboys football stadium, it's a really big high-end stadium, and they get like 51,000 people in there, I think.
Really?
Staples Center is 19,000.
Staples Center,
Staples Center is
19,000.
19,000.
All right.
So it looks like there's a lot more than 19,000 people there per day.
yeah.
So it's, I mean, however many people are walking through that, I mean, it's a huge number.
Yeah.
Dodgers 56.
That's it.
So
So
56,000.
56. So it looks like at least the Dodger Stadium could, amount of people that are at Dodger Stadium are walking around that shit.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
But I'm not sure. I mean,
Well, at the very
that's what it
least.
looks like.
So,
It's overwhelming.
yeah. But it's always cool, I think, for us, regardless of what people think of Fast and Furious. I think just us being car guys and kind of true to like those roots, to be able to bring an element of that Fast and Furious back into the car community through SEMA. It's always fun. It's always cool.
Yeah, oh for sure.
It's like a full circle moment, really.
It's kind of funny. We're people looking at the product side of our booth. We have how many was it? 13 display cases
Yes.
full of product.
Yeah.
And we got the Fast and Furious stuff. We got the Hollywood rides. We have JDM tuners, Just Trucks, Big Time Muscle, Hyperspec, and RC and Diecast. And we have these glass or acrylic doors over our display cases. And it's funny, you can see the really popular products that people are looking at because there's massive amounts of fingerprints on the acrylic on whatever product they're looking at. So like Initial D, there's like a ton of over in the JDM side, you can tell JDM is really a popular item with the collectors because that's where a lot of it is at, a lot of the fingerprints. Same with the Fast and Furious side. It's crazy. You can see exactly what people are looking at.
We're offering some sneak peeks too at some new items that we haven't really shown yet.
Yeah.
So,
So if you were here, well, then you saw them.
Yeah.
Be here or be square. Be there or be square.
I think that's how it
Yeah,
works.
I don't need any more.
Be here or be square.
Come on, I don't need any more stupid things I said.
Be
like
her or
last
be
week.
square.
Oh my gosh. Yeah.
oh man,
Well.
what a day.
Yeah.
Yeah, been standing and walking pretty much all day.
And that's what you're gonna be doing tomorrow after your shift is done?
Yeah, just doing it all over again tomorrow.
Yeah.
So I hope you're ready. I wasn't kidding about the walking shoes.
We just walked from our booth over to the North Hall where we had a meeting. That took forever. It's a long walk.
Yeah.
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 Like a mile.
It felt like it.
Yeah.
Because you're dodging people, it's not just walking straight. You're like, juke, juke.
Someone stops. Whoa.
Breaking someone's ankles.
Yeah.
And, yeah.
Well, you know the feeling. You're standing all day. Your back hurts. Your feet hurt. Everything hurts. Your knees hurt.
Especially if you lift.
Yeah. I told you leg day wasn't gonna happen this week. Once the show started. So I'm glad I got it in before.
Hit up my Instagram and see my PR, by the way.
Shameless plug.
Yeah, well.
They don't know what his Instagram is.
What?
They don't know what his
Oh, I'm
Instagram
sure it'll be like a little right here. I'll even do it for him. Right.
You know what? Actually, don't find me on this. I don't want to talk to any of you.
Wait. Okay, let me just
Okay, hit me up on the Jada Toys page, but please don't find my Instagram page.
Wow, that went like
Sorry.
100 to 0 actually.
Oh god.
Oh my gosh.
Well,
You're inviting everyone just to see that squat.
booty shorts.
is this what Jada Toys hires?
Oh man.
These last 2 episodes have shown everyone out there that they could work for Jada Toys too. They hire a host they hire a host who stutters. And then they also hire a host who dresses in questionable ways at the gym. But hey, that's cool. Very tolerant.
It's alright.
Yeah. Well, so we have kind of a busy day tomorrow. Today is a little bit of a shorter podcast, but don't worry. We will be back to our normal schedule next week, guys. So, last day of SEMA for us. Well, you'll be there for quite some time.
The whole time.
Yeah, but last day of SEMA for us too. We're gonna make the most of it. We're gonna have some cool footage for you guys afterwards, and
maybe to make up for some of the lost time that we're not talking. You can just throw a bunch of photos and videos of what you guys check out tomorrow.
which is another reason why you shouldn't just be listening to our podcast. It's also why you should also be subscribed to our YouTube channel.
Yep.
So that you can see all this glorious stuff happening at SEMA.
Yeah.
Yeah. So be sure to tune in for this episode next week. If you like this podcast, like and subscribe. Subscribe to our YouTube page. Share it. We'll send it to a friend, and be sure to tune in every week. Well, that's all I got for today.
I'm Mike.
I'm Daryl.
I'm Jordan. And we'll see you next week. Damn, I don't have my laptop to slam closed. So there we go. Oh, man.
Recorder. Pizza time!